Oh, that's good. Welcome back. I hope you are having a good week. I hope you're staying in safe. I hope you're staying warm, but most importantly, hope you're staying hydrated. All right, let's try this one more time. So, got a script also, so, you know. As you know, I love Nollywood films. I grew up watching Nollywood films, and one day, mark my words, I am going to star in a Nollywood film, part of my career path. But what I love most about Nollywood films is being able to analyze Nollywood films. So the movie we're gonna be analyzing today is Sylvia. I watched this movie back during the pandemic, and I was able to rewatch it again, thankfully, since it was on the Ebony Life streaming site. Shameless plug, sponsor me, why not? Anyway, so first a bit of a background before I get into everything. So when I say I grew up watching Nollywood films, unfortunately, the types of Nollywood films that my parents and grandparents loved to watch were terrifying, to say the least. Cut to...
Where is the new convert for initiation? What is your name?
My name is Godwin.
I just find it interesting that our parents didn't want us to like read Harry Potter like for separate reasons. I know like there's the whole thing with what's going on today, but like they wouldn't want us to read Harry Potter or anything, but then we'd watch movies where we would literally see like step-by-step instructions on how to commit witchcraft on your own spouse. So I make it make sense. You can watch the movie, but no, we can't read a book. But you know, that's just me. Like there was one movie I remember watching where like this man had like hired someone to like summon a demon child to go and attack someone, and like the demon child had appeared in the room with the person and then disappeared, and it's just like, what is going on? And then reappeared with the babalao that had summoned the demon child, and then the demon child ate the babalao, and I was just kind of like, hey guys, what's going on? So, you know, I would be terrified, rightfully so. And like, what was amazing about it is looking back on it now, Nollywood films, when they would like create these scenes, did just like masterful work of using music, makeup, and lighting to really like bring forth the horror, which is it's so good. Like, it's so scary. It is terrifying. It's so good. It's so good. So the thing of it is like many West Africans and the broader African diaspora, we very much believe in some level of the supernatural. So these movies, like for us, they're not, well, movies. These are, they're not fiction, but they're not non-fiction. Wait, no, they're all hypothetical situations that could possibly happen. That's the best way to put it. Yep. So at a certain point, however, I had begun to watch American horror films. Like I was like, you know what? I no longer want to be afraid. I'm going to start to watch horror films. And there was a summer that like for the entire summer straight, that's all I ever watched. I watched horror films from The Shining to Alfred Hitchcock's The Shining. There was another one I watched. What's the name of the movie? Let me just look it up. Oh, Psycho. Yeah, there was a summer I completely watched them. It was also part of the class I was taking. This was back during my college years, obviously. But yeah, so I had begun to study horror films and American horror films and analyzing them and having a curiosity to what makes them scary. Like I was able to truly pay attention to, why am I terrified right now? What is going on in the scene that is making me that is making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up? And I grew an appreciation for American horror films. So I thought, you know what? I should do the same for Nollywood films when it comes to, you know, horror, the supernatural, etc., stuff like that. And I'm so glad I did, because Sylvia, this movie, it's amazing. I know it's been several years since anyone has talked about it, but like, this is the first time I'm talking about it. So, you know, it is what it is. And plus, it's a masterful example of like how, like, it's a masterful example of the filmmakers knowing exactly the type of story they wanted to tell and using specific elements to truly tell this story. It's amazing. Okay, so like I said, this movie was terrifying in the most amazing ways. And I wanted to break down the elements that I specifically saw that I thought to truly allow that fear to come into like the movie. So before I begin, a brief little synopsis, courtesy of Ebony Life. So Richard is ready to move on from Sylvia, his lifelong imaginary friend and lover, for the real-world relationship. But when Sylvia refuses to be cast aside, she begins to unravel the life that he's building. Because when we sleep in this world, we awaken in another. Dun, dun, dun. All right, first and foremost, color grading. So, a brief definition, color grading in film helps movies take a specific tone or mood throughout the entire film. So like essentially, it's like a filter. Like, you know how specific filters can make it seem like nostalgic or stuff like that? Color grading is essentially what they do when it comes to the type of vibe they're trying to set up. Like, it can be sometimes time period, or it can also be like a specific emotion that they want to sit in. So something I noticed while I was watching the movie was the entire time there is this like hazy, muted like color. The film like really blurs these lines between Richard's waking life and his subconscious life the entire time, from the beginning all throughout. This specific color grading haze is used throughout the whole film, and there's only a few moments in the movie where it's not really used. So throughout the entire film, you are literally questioning whether or not we're in reality or the fantasy, the subconscious life, etc. And it's really creepily well done. Like, I think that was one of the first things I noticed even when the first time I watched it, because I was just kind of like, why does it look like we're still in the dream? That was so well done. The filmmakers knew what they were doing. The second thing I really wanted to talk about, the major thing I wanted to talk about, was the use of colors. So what I noticed is that there was a specific color that represented a specific character. And the main colors that were used throughout the movie was red and pink, blue and yellow. And I kind of count red and pink to be the same, and you'll know why in a moment. So the color blue would be used to represent Richard. And, you know, blue can represent peace, security, relaxation. And in his waking life throughout the movie, Richard is building a peaceful life for himself. He had lost his mother. He found someone he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. Work is going really well for him. He's just building a peaceful life around himself, a peaceful atmosphere. So I thought that was really interesting. Yellow is always used to surround the wife. I'm gonna just say her name, don't be afraid. So Bimmy, please don't. Yellow is used to surround Richard's wife. So Bimmy is the name of Richard's wife's character, and she represents happy. She basically just represents happiness and like possibility and, well, cheerful elements of his life. I remember making note of these specific colors throughout the movie, and I remember whenever I would see these like colors and like these specific scenes, I would either think of like peace or boredom, because like there were plenty of scenes when Richard is honestly just like living his daily life and not much is happening. He's just bathed in blue for this idea of ease, comfort, or he's bathed in yellow with this idea of, you know, him being at home with his wife, sharing, you know, the marital kisses, stuff like that. So, you know, things are a little bit calm. So when the red parts start to appear, you get the immediate sense that danger is approaching. So it starts off slow with this creeping sensation. And then like, sometimes it's just a little hint of it. Like they would use like a red towel or like red flowers. And I might have to do another analysis on this movie because I only chose specific things I wanted to talk about, but I could go back and watch it and probably find even more. So that's what's the beautiful about rewatching movies. But anyway, so like there are just little hints in his life. So like it'll be an entire room covered in blue and we'll see like a red towel, or the entire room is covered in yellow and we'll see the red flower. And it's just, it creeps in ever so slightly until it is literally too late. So the only reason why I saved the color red/pink is because I really have to discuss all aspects of it, and that includes the character Sylvia. Woo! Okay, so before I begin, I just need to say this. This actor, she carried the entire movie on her back. No, because remember the first time I watched it, I was like, I'm the type of person, I'm watching a movie, especially when I'm by myself, because no. I'm the type of person when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, ooh, that person was so good. Let me look up their Wikipedia. What else you been in? And come to find out, she was in something else that everyone absolutely loves. Well, this might be just a me thing because I don't know too much about the Nollywood world. Well, I want to, but I don't know too much about the Nollywood world. So everyone's probably like, oh, I can't believe it was her. But speaking purely from my experience, I could not believe that this was a character that we had seen in a movie that we absolutely love. And like, she played such a minor role, but whenever she was on scene, like she was on screen, she carried the scene.
Food and consumption. Food and consumption. Food and... Who are you? I am Bonuola Arawale Ko, acting activations director at Events Expert.
Hey, Tintin.
I'm a chef. I just make my gift. Yeah, Michael. Okay, guys. Just make sure the security is tight.
In Sylvia, bro, I had never been so terrified in my life. I remember thinking, okay, homegirl deserves all the flowers. Like I said, the use of color, makeup, and music is like Nollywood's bread and butter when it comes to making these horror and supernatural films. And the filmmakers for this specific movie, Sylvia, does it so well. Because when we first meet Sylvia, we don't suspect anything of her. She is just a cute little girl who is wearing all this pink and she's handing out flowers. It's supposed to be adorable. You don't think anything of it. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm just kind of like, why are you, But again, even that little voice in your head that's like, something is not right here, it's almost silenced immediately because you're put at such ease with the color and the makeup that is done with Sylvia as we see Richard and Sylvia age. So since she's wearing the color pink, which can represent love, caring, playfulness, all these things really surround her. But when Richard begins to draw the line between his fantasies and reality, that's when the danger begins to appear. We see the transition from pink to red, and it's just, ooh. I remember there's a moment in the movie when Richard leaves the dream world and we're still with Sylvia for a brief moment. She stares up at the camera and, oh man, whoever the makeup artist is, they knew what they were doing because suddenly all these soft features about Sylvia, about the actor, is hardened and terrifying. And whoa, it was woo, the suspenseful music, the acting ability. I remember thinking like, I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
Because I'm in danger. And like, the most amazing scene is when we finally see the color grading, the phase, the hazy, like dreamlike state of the like entire movie, Richard's entire life drop. There's a scene where like, okay, this, like, it's all gone and you almost don't notice it right away, but you're covered, the entire scene is covered in red. They're at the restaurant and it's like, hold up, what's going on? It's so scary. I remember the first time I watched it, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, wait, why is everything so clear? Like everything is so clear and everything is covered in red. What's happening? And Sylvia walks in and you're just like, wait, door, wait. Is she real? Because, oh no, we're in danger. After that, we are basically taken for a ride. Like, again, this actor deserves her flowers. She carried the entire movie on her back. Whoever was in charge of casting knew exactly what they were doing when they casted her as Sylvia. Because there were several moments, like, I just remember there's one moment where she literally barks and, not like barks, but she like, her voice is so harsh and so scary. And it's just like, oh, the thing is, they do a good job of letting us know that Sylvia is much more dangerous than what she shows. But from what we do see her do, yeah, it's messed up. I feel like I'm so out of place. I'm trying to find the organization in it, but again, this is my second time attempting this, so let me be graceful with myself, patient with myself. But I wanted to note that the use of pink to red and then later black when it came to the character of Sylvia was so amazing. Because the actor and the color does an amazing job of embodying this idea of cutesy and childlike and fun, no danger, to the femme fatale, scary, sexy being that she is. And it's just whoa. That's masterful. That's masterful. Okay, so to anyone who is potentially looking for a good psychological thriller, I would suggest this specific movie. It's not overly scary. It's tolerable. I would say it's a 3 out of 5. If it's not terrible, but it still raises the hairs on the back of your neck. So yes, I give my flowers to the filmmakers and also to the actors. They did an amazing job of telling us a story. Masterful class. Chef's kiss. But yeah, the movie is currently streaming on Ebony Life, and I think it's the elements that I was able to notice that I wanted to first kind of talk about. It's so well done. But yeah, okay. My second attempt at this. So let's wrap things up. As you know, I love Nollywood films. I grew up watching Nollywood films, and one day, mark my words, someone is going to cast me as a star in a Nollywood film. But there's nothing I love more than analyzing Nollywood films. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you come back and watch another one. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay informed, and most importantly, stay tuned.